everyone, and welcome to Tea Time Tuesday. I'm so excited that you are here today and that you are joining us. We are on location here at the Renewal Center in the historic district of Concord, North Carolina, and we are so excited that you have joined us this morning. And you know, this is a wonderful Tuesday. This is Tea Time Tuesday, a time to renew yourselves, to reset, a time of resilience and a time of reflection. And this is the time that we take the moment to quiet ourselves, to take a pause, and to reflect on those great things that we can do, great practices throughout the day that we can bring ourselves awareness and resilience. And so we are so excited. We welcome you from the Renewal Center. Good morning. My name is Carmela E. Head. I am the Director of Renewal and Community Programs here at the Renewal Center. We also have our Executive Director, Patrick J. Brown, who's on location today in the media broadcasting room. So we are so excited. So let's see who's here today. Good morning, Nicole. Good morning, Renita, my sister. Good morning, Mildred. Good morning, Mildred. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, Teresa. How are you over there? And Daphne, good morning, Daphne. So good to see you this morning. Thank you for joining us. Just want to encourage everyone that is signed on today to share the Renewal Center's Tea Time Tuesday live broadcast today. And also share this with your friends. Invite your friends right now. Let them join in with us on this time of renewal. And don't forget that we are also streaming live on YouTube. So you may want to let some people know that utilize YouTube, that we are on his Patrick Brown page over there on YouTube. So share that with your friends as well, so we can bring everyone in on this wonderful time for Tea Time Tuesday today. So without further delay, so excited to talk about our tea of the week. So did you guys bring your tea today? I hope you guys brought your tea, because we're going to talk about a different kind of tea that we haven't talked about today. And our tea of the week is white tea. White tea. So last month we were talking about all the different types of black teas. And this month we're talking about other types of teas. We're going to move forward with that. So we're going to talk about white tea today. And by the way, before I forget, I want to make mention to everyone that is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. And so we are continuing to provide meaningful resources on our Renewal Center Facebook page to let you all know of some great information that you can receive on Alzheimer's and brain awareness. So we're excited about that. And so Patrick will talk to you a little bit about that in a few minutes. Okay, so our tea of the week is white tea. White tea's history and origin began in China. Originally, it was categorized as a black tea due to the Camellia sinensis tea leaves were not steamed first. So white tea leaves are harvested at the beginning of the season, and then those leaves are from the buds and the new leaves. It's harvested every spring in the northern district of the Fujian, China district location. And so when the white tea is initially prepared, unlike the other teas that we've talked about, there is no oxidizing involved. So it's minimally processed, unlike some of the other teas. White tea's flavor is known for being the most delicate of tea varieties and is very light in color. So you ever get an opportunity to experience white tea, please let us know so that we can know what it tastes like, actually. And so our book of the week, as you may know, for the month of June, July, and August, we'll be focusing in on prayer for our books of the week. We're kind of staying in line and aligning ourselves with Reforming Culture prayer on Wednesdays, which is the first Wednesdays through the Renewal Center. And you can find out more information about that. That is our Reforming Culture prayer time. And so how appropriate for the next 3 months, we're going to focus on prayer. So our book of the week is Prayer, a Holy Occupation by Oswald Chamber, and that's in our thought room here on location at the Renewal Center. We're so excited that we have plenty of books on prayer. And so I'm going to read a little bit of the synopsis of this particular book. It says, prayer is work. This may seem like a startling statement, but prayer is an act of the will, and Oswald Chamber says, an act of obedience. a holy occupation. Prayer, a holy occupation, is a treasury of insight about this vital spiritual discipline, prayer. It's filled with inspirational quotes on prayer from the works of Oswald Chambers, the world's most beloved devotional writer. Each page features 2 quotations along with several questions for your own personal reflection. And this book inspires us and challenges us with this simple and direct biblical wisdom. You will find yourself wanting to spend more time communicating with God. And so just a little bit of insight on prayer. During my time this week, as I was studying prayer, I ran across something that really jumped out at me, and it's about adoration when we pray. I want to read a little bit about this. Adoration. This is a time to remember God, who God is. Praise him for his love, his power, his majesty, and for his wonderful gift of Jesus. And so without further delay, I'm going to bring on our Executive Director, Patrick J. Brown, for the rest of Tea Time Tuesday.
All right. Thank you so much, Carmela. So good to be here, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. So good to be here on Tea Time Tuesday. We have been focusing on our brain health awareness and Alzheimer's Awareness Month. So that's been the whole focus. Last week, we got into mental agility. Prior to that, we were talking about perfectionism, ways we can be flexible and we can stretch ourselves. And so we're going to do that today and next week. And then we're going to move into a real time of how we can have best practices on building atmospheres of resting and resetting using Tea Time for July. Things are opening back up. People are going back out. And you don't want to get out there and be moving so fast that you forget to take the time you need to reset yourself. So that's what we want to make sure we continue to do. So today, what teas do we have today? Let's hear from you. That you can introduce. We're building culture. We're establishing a culture of rest, a culture of resetting and building each other. That's how we build resilience, is having these types of communities where we're connecting. And so if you're out there, you're drinking your tea today, go ahead and put it in the chat. And then we're going to go ahead and get started. So thank you, Carmela, for opening things up. Let's see what we have here. We have lemon ginger. All right. Thank you. Green tea. What else do we have there? All right, we've got lemongrass. Yes,
Ooh,
yes.
Lemongrass. Okay.
Lemongrass. Lemon, orange, and ginger leaf tea. All right, what else do we have out there today?
We have a great selection of teas today.
Yeah, a lot of lemons because everybody's feeling lemony today. Citrusy. Sunset oolong. All right.
Oh, wow. Okay. Someone has oolong tea today.
Lemon ginger. Wonderful. Now, I want to encourage you, make sure that you invite someone. Share this with your friends. Send it to their messenger. Share it on your page. What we're doing is we're building community. We're reforming culture by using this time to rest, to reset, and to build resilience. That's what we're doing. That's what it is to build community. And so we want to take this time to do that every single Tuesday, 12 Eastern Standard Time. All right, ginger. All right, this is great stuff we're seeing here today. All right, Camilla, thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and get us started. See you on the other side here.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining in today. We have been on this journey of mental agility, focusing on mental agility. And I want to review a few principles from last week. And also, perhaps we can focus on practices. So for those of you that were with us last week on mental agility, I'd like to reiterate what we discussed last week in terms of the content that we're sharing. And then what we'll do is we'll do some practices. But today, because we're focusing on mental agility, again, this is our month to concentrate on building our mental agility, our brain health. So there are things that we will do, actions, there'll be behaviors, there's practices that we'll do that'll be a little different than what we've done before. So last week, Again, last week we started out by focusing specifically on these areas, on exercising mental agility. We talked about changing the context, if you remember, trying something new, questioning your thoughts and your words, and of course, mix up the way that you think. And so we were working on these areas, these 4 areas, to really move us forward. And so that was one of the key things that we wanted to focus on, is exercising mental agility. Then we began to also talk about having an agile versus a rigid mind. And so to really embrace both and not just either or thinking, and the importance of shifting between abstract and specific. And so we're working on different approaches. So that's one of the key things. And so today we're going to focus on how mental agility can come from even the pain we experience, and say, well, why are we focusing on this type of subject? Because we all experience different painful scenarios. And what we wonder, how can I grow, and how can we expand who we are through these painful experiences and painful journeys? There's always something to learn, something that we can grow in, something we can expand in. And so even as leaders, as influencers of others, our pain that we experience in life really are 3 different areas we're going to focus on today. And then we're going to do some exercises. As we say, locate yourself. We're going to locate ourselves in the area of our mental agility and how we're growing our brain health. But we can look at our pain in life, those experiences, and use those experiences to grow who we are. Sometimes we have a scarcity mindset that maybe what I'm experiencing that's painful cannot add value. Yes, it can. And yes, it will, because nothing is wasted. So here's a few things I want to focus on about pain. And I'd like you to jump in on this. How is pain in your life, perhaps, an indicator? How is it an informer? And how is it an inspirer? And the reason why we're using this, we want to focus on the positive outcomes, how we grow from our painful experiences during our tea time today. And if there's someone out there who says they need to hear this, please send this to them. I think this will be something that they benefit from. So I'd like you in the chat, if you will, I want you to just give some feedback on pain being an indicator, or being an informer, or being an inspirer. That's going to be our introduction today, because we're going to use this as a way of fostering mental agility. Everybody deserves the right to grow. And most people want to grow. They don't want to stay where they are. They want to continue to expand some way, somehow, whether it be expanding in their careers or in their friendships and relationships, in their home, in their peace of mind. But we're talking about brain health during our tea time today. So how do we use a painful experience? And again, 3 areas of pain that we're establishing. And I'd like to get your feedback here. Again, how is pain an indicator, an inspirer, and an informer to help us with or strengthen us or expand us in mental agility? What are your thoughts on that? Definitely would love to get your feedback and just hear your thoughts. Again, this is community. We're growing together. So what thoughts do you have on that? In the area of mental agility. And again, it's about expanding who we are. It is about growing who we are and looking at that pain and really thinking through. We're sitting with this, because if you have your journal, this is a good opportunity for you to journal and write your ideas down. So here are some of the ideas coming in. Renita is saying pain can inspire endurance. Thank you. So think about that, folks. Pain is an indicator, is an informer, is an inspire. It can inspire endurance, that we can endure. What else? Expanding and growing. That's right. When we're experiencing pain, there's expansion and there's growth. What else? What other thoughts do you have out there concerning using that as a mental agile? Let's see what else we have here. Teresa is saying, pain lets me know that I need to give attention to a specific area. Again, look at how we're turning that word pain around and using it for mental agility. And if you and I concentrate on what is it that I'm gaining from this, we will grow and expand our minds and our thoughts. Let's see what Daphne says here. For me, I understand my pain as a part of the process in my journey. So it inspires me to press hard and push past. Thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. And again, if you like to take notes from what people are saying, this is a collective community. Maybe take some time here as we reflect and let's write these ideas down and really think, what can we gain from each other in our conversation and sharing today? So let's just let some of these ideas come up on the comments, and I like to present those to everyone. It's important that we take our time to rest and reset today. And the interaction that we're asking is to build resilience. How do we do that mental toughness? Through the community that we build. We have a community of Tea Time Tuesday that helps us, that we strengthen each another by doing that. What else do we have here? Helps you find to means to an end. You start seeing resources that you probably would not have seen before. Thank you for sharing that, Mildred. Anybody else want to share? What other ideas? If there's some ideas or thoughts or perspectives that will jump out to you during our chat and our conversation today, go ahead and just take a moment and write that down. If you're on your break or you're just resting yourself in your afternoon, taking that pause to be able to mentally become flexible. So as we're thinking about this today, here's our practice for today. We have two areas we're going to focus on as it relates to pain, mental agility from pain, and how do we use that? We're going to do what we call a caring exercise. A caring exercise. And part of mental agility is giving attention to care. In other words, when we are caring, what we're saying is, I'm giving a detailed attention to a particular area in my life or inside of me that I can specifically focus on. All right. And again, we're relating to the mentally agile and flexible area because we want to build our brain health. Now, if you notice on the screen, please, caring exercise for mental agility. I want you to look at these different exercises that I've placed on the screen. And I want you to look at these different ones, and what we're going to do is look at how do we hold our experiences? How do we care for our experiences, painful ones? We hold your experience as you would hold a delicate flower in your hand. Inhale your experience the way you would take a deep breath. Abandon the fight with your experience the way a soldier might put down weapons to walk home. Looking at your experience the way you would look at an incredible painting. Tanya says, pain informs me of untapped potential. Carry your experience the way you carry a picture in your wallet or a picture on your phone screen. Take in and carry your experience as you would drink a glass of pure water. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take 2-3 minutes. We're going to take our time and we're going to begin to stretch our minds and our brain health by using our imaginations from a painful experience or an experience you may have had. And we're going to shift the narrative to growing our mental agility and flexibility by using a caring exercise. Now, this takes intentionality. All right. This is a good time to journal as well, because what this is going to do is cause us to see how we are growing in that experience. So if you're in a place where you have your journal you have your tea, you have your calm right now. What I'd like you to do, I'm going to bring back up these carrying exercises for mental agility. You're going to choose one of these exercises, and you're going to begin to use your mind, your imagination, your ideation, and you're going to begin to write down and think through what comes to mind using that particular carrying exercise. For example, I'm going to hold a painful experience as I would hold a delicate flower in my hand. What does that do to me when I do that? What am I feeling? What am I thinking? How am I growing? So that's what you're going to do. And then you're going to either write it down in your journal, your pad, and then put it in the chat so that we can grow from each other. Everybody understand where we're going? So this is going to be an exercising Tea Times Tuesday today. All right. So I'll bring it back up on the screen for you. I want you to read through each of these, and you're going to choose one, and then you're going to use your imagination, use your ideation, and then whatever comes to your thoughts, what comes to your feelings is going to be positive. It's going to be growth. It's going to be expansion. It's deliberation. You're going to begin to see a new perspective of mental agility and flexibility that will come out of this exercise. All right, so here we go. Go ahead and read and choose one, and then sit with that exercise, that caring exercise. And once you sit with that caring exercise, I want you to begin to write down what comes to your thoughts. All right, I'm going to be calm for 1 minute here. Okay. Okay, let's come back together as a group for a moment here. And I want you to think about what we just did. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, hopefully, you've had a chance to choose one of those caring exercises for mental agility. And I'd like you to go ahead and put your thoughts, your impressions, your expressions in the chat. If you chose hold your experience as you would a delicate flower, did you inhale your experience? Let's hear some of your thoughts. All right, let's bring these up on the screen here. And I'll also add these back on here so you can begin to see what's on the screen, okay? Looking at the experience as a painting, I'm looking at it from different angles. What is it that I see in this? What am I learning? And again, if you look at it, so Carmela's using this as a painting. And these are some of the thoughts that are coming to her. What are yours? What did you choose? And if you're looking at experience as a painting, which one did you choose? What did you grab from this experience? Definitely want to hear from you. Because these are practices that we're using to be able to expand our mental agility. You can use this in your job. You can use this in your home. You can use this in meetings that you're having, projects. When you come up against a challenge or a painful experience in life, you can look at it and say, okay, I'm going to do a caring exercise so that I potentially can focus on what is it that I'm gaining from this experience. And hopefully this brings a sense of understanding for what we can do. So again, let's take a look at this again, caring exercise for mental agility. Please go ahead and put your ideas and your reflections, impressions, thoughts, feelings in the chat. And again, this is a caring exercise because what this is doing is it is expanding our mental agility and flexibility during our tea time today. Okay. Let's see what else is sharing here. Monique is saying, I use my painful experience as a delicate flower in my hand to encourage others who are hurting. I will tell them that they will make it out of this place of pain. I did, and they will too. Thank you for sharing that. And again, that shows mental agility because you're in your transparency and authenticity and demonstrating that what's happening is that it reinforces learning when we share, when we're teaching others, when we're modeling, when we're expressing, when we're communicating, when we're learning collectively. Then what we end up doing is we begin to rewire how we think and why we're thinking that way. All right, Nicole shares with us, I chose to stop fighting the pain. Okay, so we chose that one. Sometimes struggling only makes it worse. All pain isn't bad. Sometimes it indicates healing. So there's a shift in perspective, perhaps, with that, Nicole. That's good. Thank you for sharing that. And again, these are practices called caring exercises. We want to show that we are mentally agile. We're growing because we're shifting perspective. We're impacting our thoughts. We're impacting our feelings, our emotions. All those things are being impacted through this moment. All right. Experience as a painting causes me to look deeper than what's on the surface. What is the root of what I'm experiencing? Let's keep going here. The cold water, taking little sips provides a refreshing experience. All right. We won't just gobble it all down, right? Let's take a little sip and experiencing a refreshing experience. Well, we can do that even through a painful experience. There's something refreshing. We're rewiring our perspectives here today by using this exercise. What else? Carrying. Let's see. Daphne says, inhale the pain, knowing that there is and it exists. However, I take a deep breath to release the weight of the pain so I can begin to deal with the why in my pain. Let's see here. Carrying my experience like a picture in my phone. It is like remembering the stones, never forgetting God's faithfulness in the midst of my pain. And it helped me to be empathetic to others who are experiencing the same pain. Look at the growth that's taking place here and what we're sharing with each other, folks. I mean, what we're doing today is we're demonstrating community and resilience during our tea time today, by using a carrying exercise, you're going to see yourself grow and expand. Victoria says, when I inhale the experience, I have to remember that I can't hold on to it, but I need to release just as I do when I inhale. Ooh. So if I just keep holding on to it, then I'm not exhaling. All right, let's keep reading here. By putting down the fight, you turn it over to God, and you're able to move forward in a more positive way and accomplish other things. The pain does not control you. See all these ideas that are coming by using a caring exercise. I can pretty much guarantee you're feeling different. You're imagining differently. You're thinking differently because you're taking a deliberate time to do a caring exercise. And as a result, the next time you have a painful experience, we started out by saying pain was an indicator, pain was an informer, pain is an inspirer. And so we're using these moments, these caring exercises to expand our mental agility. Someone else here, let's see. My painful experiences forced me to look for beauty in my life. Okay. So looking at it as an incredible painting allows me to see the beauty as my journey with purpose. So there's some writers out here. There's a lot of journaling that's taking place. This is great. All I need is some lunch. So let's just take our time, spend a little bit more time to think through these caring exercises for mental agility. We still have a few more moments left in our tea time today. I'm going to bring back up that screen again. And I want you now to go even deeper in your mental agility and perhaps use a different one this time for this next exercise. If you held a flower, all right. And again, this is imagination. Why? We use our minds to create, to reflect, to critique. And so what we're doing is there's imagination, there's creativity we're experiencing, and we're becoming more mentally flexible versus becoming black and white or either or. We're experiencing more than what is concrete. All right. So I'll bring this back up on the screen one more time. All right. So as you are in your job, I want you to think about perhaps painful experiences in your job, in your home, and friendships, and use one of these. And I'll post this on the Renewal Center page if this will be helpful. And I'll put this out there for you to begin to review or look at again as a way. And again, our month, we're focusing on brain health and Alzheimer's awareness. So we want to build our brains. Part of that is using deliberately our imagination. Sometimes it's tactile. Other ways we're using reflection exercises. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. I want to let's just take a moment for 30 seconds and go ahead and sip your tea. We're going to shift a little bit and pause. Again, this is about resting, resetting, and building resilience. Right now, we're demonstrating resilience building because we're strengthening ourselves as a community. Take 30 seconds, if you will. Okay, let's come back together here. I made a suggestion some time ago about time our schedule. If you're one that has back-to-back meetings, instead of you're setting me 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., do 1 p.m. to 1:50 or 1 p.m. to 1:55. Consistently 5 to 10 minutes of resetting instead of having a hard stop, as they say. Give yourself space to reset. Give yourself space to renew yourself in order for you to be able to move forward and not be in a space where you're not clear on what you need to do. So let's take a few minutes, if you will, for mental agility. Okay. Okay, so let's move on to our next practice. We're now going to do another one. And we're going to talk about wider view, a wider view. How can we can do a wider view? Okay. A wider view exercise. And this particular exercise is going to help us with how we ask questions and we grow our mental agility by taking a wider view in questions. All right. And that's part of mental agility. So let's look at these. And I've used these, and I think this will help you too. And again, this is tea time. So sometimes in tea times, we have conversations, right? So let's just take our time and really, if you need to reheat, go ahead and reheat your tea. And just, we're going to take our time. And I want us to think about, what does this pain suggest you deeply care about? These are different questions that move us and shift us into mental agility. We use these wider view questions so that we can discover sitting with questions also means sitting with answers, so that we're not so quick to just move on to the next idea just because we can. Just because we can, or because life tells us to do that because of our schedules. So when we look at these exercises, which are the wider views, the last screen was more about caring exercises. This is about how do I use a wider view, a much more broader perspective of mental agility, because again, this is about growing and expanding. So we can ask ourselves, with this exercise, what we're going to do is we're going to think about a painful experience or pain that you might be experiencing. It could be the same thing that you used in the last exercise. And ask yourselves one of these questions and then answer it. Really sit with the question. What does this pain suggest you deeply care about? If this pain were in a book you were writing, how might the character experiencing it become wiser or more alive as a result? What is the message from this pain? How can you use it to create, to grow, and to expand who you are? Is there a specific thought associated with this pain, or can you say yes just as to that thought? Think of the thought as a thought and drop any struggle with it. Just notice the thought and drop the struggle. If you could feel this pain without defense, what would you be able to do in your life? Reach out into that, dream and imagine what that journey could or would that be. And last, if you blame someone for this pain, can you think of times that you've done something like they did, perhaps in a lesser way? Do you have an attachment to that pain? Be aware of your answers and sit with them. So, everybody understand what we're doing here? And again, we're going to workshop this. This is a workshop. We're working, we're thinking. So let's, it's nice out here. It's raining outside. This is a good day just to. And some of you are going to probably journal later on and take your little afternoon nap. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this wider view exercise, and we're going to answer some questions collectively and then put them in the chat. So again, I'm going to pause. I'm going to play some music, and I'm going to put these questions on the screen. And what you're going to do is you're going to answer those questions after you've sat with it for a few moments, okay? Let's do that, and then put your answers in the chat. And again, this is about connecting mental agility from pain. Okay, just wanted to come back on real quickly just to make sure that everyone is flowing with your ideas. Again, we're taking our time to think through how we draw mental agility from pain, mental agility from pain. And so we are using the wider view exercise to be able to extract mental agility, flexibility, moving beyond the concrete, moving into the abstract, moving from the rigid, moving into flexibility, really expanding our thinking, expanding our brain health, because we're considering other thoughts, other perspectives, other emotions, other feelings that we currently most likely may not have. And again, that's what we're doing again. And here we are from the Renewal Center. Just want to remind you, every Tea Time Tuesday is at noon, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. And so I'll go back to the music. I'm going to bring up the slide one more time. Please go ahead, put your ideas in the chat. Part of Tea Time is to rest, to reset, and build resilience. And that's what we're doing. We're resting, we're resetting our thought process, and we're building resilience. So again, wider view exercise for mental agility. Go ahead and write out what's there. Take this time out to reflect, sit with the question, sit with the answer, and go ahead and post that. All right. See you shortly. All right. Thank you, everybody. Let's come back together and let's really reflect. There's some key takeaways in our tea time today. And again, our month of June, we've been focusing on brain health, Alzheimer's awareness. Also, there's some conversation about post-traumatic stress. And one of the key things that we're doing is we're winning. Why are we winning? It's because we're not allowing ourselves to stay stuck. Why are we winning today? It is because we're not allowing our trauma to become our identity. We are looking at this from a abundance mindset, not a scarcity mindset, that everyone deserves the right to grow and deserves the right to continue to expand who they are. And so that's what we're working on. And again, I just want to recap for us so that we can look at our takeaways. All right. So we started out today with the reality concerning pain. And we talked about how pain is an indicator, an informer, and an inspirer. There is growth that takes place from pain. We worked on the caring exercise for mental agility. And then lastly, we focused on the wider view. All right. So I just thank everyone. I hope that today's time of tea time was one of productivity, one of growth, one of mental expansion. Next week, we'll continue with our mental agility and mental flexibility exercises, giving you some ideas, some perspectives. Between this week and next week, I want you to use one of these questions or one of these perspectives, perhaps in other areas, experiences that you might be facing, to help extract a unique perspective, perhaps, that maybe previously you didn't consider. All right. So we thanks everybody for being here. This has been a great session today. Please let me know what your takeaways are. Go ahead and put the takeaways in the chat, if you will. If there's some takeaways from today's session, I want to remind you here at the Renewal Center, every single Tuesday, we have our Tea Time Tuesdays. For those of you that view us or you're partners with us, we'd like you to consider donating to the Renewal Center and supporting us. You can give through our website, www.therenewalcenters.com/give. If this material, this content is valuable, productive, if it's adding to your life, adding to what you're doing, please consider partnering with us as we continue to expand our operation budget and our other programming, renewal programming, and initiatives we have, not only for the Concord, North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina area, but also globally with our digital content. You can also, you can text to give us. If you text Renewal Center to that number 888-364-4483, or you can download all of our content by going to our mobile app on your Apple, your Google, your Android store. Just type in the Renewal Center. You'll see our logo come up and you can access us, our information there. All right. So I'll just leave that up there on the screen for those of you who would like to support us and partner with us here at the Renewal Center. Okay, folks. Well, thanks everyone for coming in. I appreciate everybody coming in. I hope that these exercises have been productive in the area of mental wellness, mental agility, mental flexibility. I want to remind you, please make sure that you go to our Renewal Center pages on our Instagram page at the Renewal Centers, and then also at I Am Renewal, which is on our Facebook page as well. You can also get all of our information and resources regarding what it is that the Renewal Center offers and what we provide. All right. So thanks so much. We appreciate you being a part of it. And what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and let this information stream so you can take a look at it while we're finishing up our time. All right. Thanks again. And we enjoyed having you on here at our tea time today.